Hi, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching and listening to another edition of Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. All of our channels and networks. I like doing that. All of our channels and networks. I'm Mike Morales here in Southern California. That gentleman out there is
Dave Dinius in Reno, Nevada.
Dave, and I are just tripping the like fantastic with this new tequila. We saw it on Instagram. I got some really the bottle's gorgeous. It really caught my eye. The design. It's called Humano or Humano if
Humano.
you want to go gringo on it, go Humano. But in Spanish, the
Humano.
H is silent. You go Humano.
Humano.
Humano. So, and it's human. I
Humano.
mean, basically, that's what it stands for is human. I think the message is that tequila is a bottom line is something you share with other people. You make connections. There's a humanness to it, and all of it. The people that make it, it's not made with a machine. It's not cold. There's not, there's a master distiller behind it, although I don't know his name or her name. Um, and I don't know if they mentioned it on the website, but I know one of the principals of this brand, and I was very excited for her when she called me. We talked for a good hour, and I told that story during the Blanco review, so I might just mention it again. But this is a reposado, and I'm going to pour mine in my Stasso Jarrito that I normally use for mezcal, but I like using it for repos.
I'm gonna put it in a Glencairn.
So Dave's going to use a handy dandy Glencairn.
Glencairn.
And again, these bottles are like ceramic, so you're not going to be able to see through them for per se, except for maybe on the final expression, which we'll get to. And it's not a Cristalino, so that's all I got to say about that. But
That
anyway,
is not very dark.
no, it's not. It is a pale, almost a pale. Oh yeah, it's just pale straw color.
Yeah, it's like really, really. Of course, it's getting dark here, so
Yeah, me too on my side here, but
try to.
I got the ring light to help me out. Nice legs and tears. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Beautiful string of pearls, legs and tears forever, streaming like Netflix. Look at them go.
Uh-huh.
Wow, these are some thick legs.
A lot like the Blanco was, just not so much of the bubbles that you liked.
Well, and I would say the legs are a little slower. They're a little bit thicker because of the time they spend in the barrel, which we didn't get as usual. We didn't as much as I know who they are. They didn't send us any POS
No
material.
POS, so we have no knowledge of anything.
No, but we've got a website that we can kind of pirate some information from, and the Blanco was highly rated. By the way, I was surprised the Blanco was highly rated. Let's
The
see.
Blanco is pretty good.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Age 4 months. Resting in new American oak uh, ex bourbon barrels. Oh no, no, American oak and bourbon barrels. Then then master blended. So this is a blend of 4 months resting in new American oak and bourbon barrels, and then master blended. So you have virgin barrels and you have some ex bourbon barrels.
Okay.
Okay. So, but they're just giving it enough to round out the edges. Not, you know, not that tequila had any. I think it was bolder than I thought, but it didn't.
It didn't need rounding.
No, but again, the this tells me that the quality of the agave, they want that to shine through. They don't want it to be overpowered by the barrel notes.
I'm sorry, I sniffed it early.
Oh, that's all right. That's okay.
That's a nice smell.
Yeah, and it's not as sweet. It's got more wood notes and it leans more toward the woodsy side of it.
Yeah, the barrel spice, definitely.
See, I like
Hmm.
this, man. This is some I love it. I love that you're getting on the nose, you're getting a lot more wood notes, even though on the color doesn't show that.
It doesn't.
And you got virgin barrels and then you got some used bourbon barrels. So we're not, you know, 4 months. That's not a whole lot for on either. They're blending it, of course. So you've got some aging in bourbon, some aging in virgin barrels, and then you're putting them together.
Hmm, that's nice.
There's a little bit more alcohol in the center. I'm getting that.
Okay. Yeah, I just stuck my nose down the center. Yes.
Yeah, it's nothing off-putting. It's just, you always check for alcohol because it's got to have alcohol to bring up the rest of the
Oh yeah.
elements. Yeah. It's not as sweet as I thought it would be, though. That's interesting. That's
It's got kind of a caramely, maybe.
uh I'm not getting that. Maybe you are. It hasn't opened up for me like that, and I've got a
Just a
wider
just a
a-
little.
I got a wider mouth surface than you do, so on my glass.
And I'm not getting a lot of it. It's more of when I just swirl it around and then
Yeah, we just
and
Dave just broke the seal off camera on his, and I've had my seal broken a while back, but
yes.
I didn't dissect it or anything, and it's been weeks since I've touched it. So
Yeah, we've had it a little while, huh?
yeah, yeah, we have.
Mm.
I want to dive in because I want to see what characteristics from the Blanco that we're going to get from this repo because it's not that dark. Uh, so
No, it's not.
so here we go. Our first pass on this.
I get that nice agave pepper that I got on the Blanco. It is a little more rounded.
I got some barrel spice
Yep.
right off the bat. It was a surprise because I didn't expect it, and I got it on a retro nasal, but it was like it was sweeter than what it was on the nose.
A little dry.
Yeah, it's a lot dry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the white peppers turned into a little bit of that cinnamon, kind of.
Hmm.
Not red hot cinnamon, but
Some
just
of the
enough
barrel
to,
tannins.
yeah. Wow. That was a surprise, man. And it's underneath my palate right now, the size of my tongue, and it's getting a little bit sweeter. Yeah. Yep.
Slowly creeping down.
Slowly creeping down. That's interesting though, but I'm not sensing any of the citrus. I would have thought that maybe I get a little bit the citrus would turn into like an orange, maybe a little bit, or the grapefruit would go into like an orange, but it didn't, it's not doing that for me. I'm not getting an orange blossom or an orange oil. I'm not getting any of that. I'm getting a lot of wood and wood spices is what I'm getting. Oh, and it's very faint. There's like a faint baking spices at the bottom of this glass, but very faint.
It does have a lot of the characteristics of the Blanco, just rounded out and add a little wood to it.
Yeah, but like I say, I was expecting a little bit more of the citrus to come through, and it's not doing it for me.
That's a good thing.
Well, yeah, it's not a bad thing. I mean,
I
that's
think it's a good
I
thing.
think
I
it's a
don't want
style.
it really sweet.
Well, I don't either. I'm not talking about, like, who sweet.
Yeah,
I'm talking about, naturally it'll turn from a citrus, it'll turn because of the barrel, the time it spends in the barrel, it'll turn into something like an orange blossom, sometimes orange oil if it's like an añejo, but this one doesn't do that.
no, it's still got that nice peppery kick.
Oh, you know what else I'm getting? Remember that briny jalapeno pepper kind of thing?
Yeah,
It's in there.
it's in there on the nose,
It's in there.
definitely.
That's
It's in
that's from
there
the
on it's
Blanco.
on the palate too.
Yeah, yeah. That's so cool. The location where this distillery is, and probably where they have their agaves grown, is Tototlan, which is like part of that golden triangle of the highlands and in between highlands and Arandas.
Yeah, it says it's from the highlands of Jalisco.
Yeah, but it's that golden triangle where it's not all the way to Totonilco and it's not all the way down to Amatitan, which that's like my jam. I so love that. So it's got and not even it's not even reminiscent of Arandas, because Arandas is a little more heightened for me.
Yeah, that's nice. It is.
Mm, mm, mm. Oh wow. I'm sorry. The longer it stays on your palate, the more the barrel notes get sweeter and sweeter.
Hmm.
That's so cool. You can't, this one's a good sipping reposado. You really can, if you put it in a cocktail, you'll miss all that.
Yeah,
You'll miss the way it plays on your palate. I mean,
sip it, don't mix it.
yeah, I wouldn't pair it with a cigar because the aftertaste is dry, like Dave said, it's dry. It's almost like it was been aged in a wine barrel. It's dry, like a wine dry barrel, but it's
Hmm.
not. So that's got to be either the virgin barrel or the straight bourbon barrel.
Yeah, I think the dryness is coming from the virgin barrel.
I think so too. That would be my guess. Uh, and the fact that they blended this to make it look this color, that it's not getting darker. You know what I mean?
No,
Sometimes
it's not dark at all.
no, no, because some bourbon barrels they just leave a little bit more color on your
Oh yeah.
on your juice. This one, this is you could pair it with food, but I wouldn't I don't think that I would put this in a cocktail. You could, but
No.
why would you?
Yeah, why? Yeah, I don't.
Well, you know what that means, right? That means that this is a brand of promise nominee
Ooh,
in the
yes.
in the Reposado category. And again, I would say it's a blend, double barreled, Reposado, and it's only 4 months. That's crazy. There's a lot of depth to this. There's like one more layer of depth that was missing, I think, for me on the Blanco. But this one really does it for me, man.
Just added that oak.
Yeah, but two types. You know what I mean? I,
Yes.
it's like it's rare that you see this much work in a reposado because that's just extra labor. That's labor intensive when you start blending barrels, and going hog wild there. Because you usually save that technique for like an añejo or an extra. What do we have a price point for this thing?
At my Lee's, $63.
Mm.
There's one for 60 at Big Daddy's. Uh, Usually $60, 55 bucks. Old Town, 55 bucks.
So for 55 to 60.
Yeah, my Lee's looks like it's a little high on the price. So,
Oh. Um, I think you could back up the truck on this one. The Blanco and the Reposado. See that? Here's the thing. Because first of all, there was an agave shortage, and then prices went up after COVID, and
yep.
people were premiumization. That was the buzzword where people were trading up and drinking better and more expensive, and then we ran out of añejo and we ran out of extra añejo because nobody was barreling any, and
Yeah.
so prices went haywire, and now the price of agave dropped like a rock. But this brand has been in the pipeline for at least a couple of years. I think one of the principals of this brand, her name is Anaí Rivera. Anaí was part of 1921 for years. If you have ever had 1921 tequila, chances are she's the reason you're drinking it. Okay. So she reached
So,
out to me and I we had interviewed her when I was living in San Antonio, and she lives in San Antonio, and I saw this brand on Instagram, and I said, I wonder how I can get it, right? And like days later,
She
they
calls.
she called me. She says, I got this tequila. I'm involved. I am a stakeholder. I she made a lot of connections. This lady learned the business by the seat of her pants. And if you don't, in fact, if you want to know more about her and her the kind of person she is, check it out on our YouTube channel. The Open Bar with Ana Rivera of 1921 Tequila. You can find that there. It was a
Mhm.
nice evening at our ta dinner table, and she kind of, she learned the ropes from the ground up as far as the business and marketing and sales. And this lady, so I was so happy for her because 1921 for years has had fits and starts, fits and starts. It would disappear from the market and come back, fits and starts. And this one seems like they've got their stuff together. And as Dave said earlier on the Blanco review, they have a very good social media presence. They're
Yeah.
constantly posting, so they have game. Now she's got game, and she's dangerous. I mean, this lady, go back and watch that interview. She was such a nice gal. So happy for her and her family, and she's got people that she loves to work with. She's the Blanco won a medal already. So I say, you know what? More power to you. Since this is what we're doing, this is what, International Women's Month. Uh,
Is it?
I think so. I'm pretty sure it is.
Hmm.
March. So I would say, you know what, if you want to, I think Dave found out that on the website it says Mexican owned. It is.
Mexican.
It's Mexican owned. The name is very easy. It's Humano or human, and it's all about connection. I love what
Uh,
they stand for. I love, I know her personally. I said the only thing I asked her was because I didn't know the gnome. I didn't, I didn't know where she was making that. I go, you didn't go diffuser, did you? She goes, oh no. She's all about quality because she represented a quality brand for years. So she's not going to trade down. She's going to trade up.
once
Okay.
again, Gnome 1585, Distilleria La Experiencia.
A small distillery,
Very small,
very small. It's a
about
shredder.
7. And they're not even names I've really heard
Yeah,
of.
not all of it. Well, there's only one that I know of that's like waiting in the wings. And I can't even mention it because right now it's dormant. It's inactive is what they call it. But
And it looks like we got lot 2 and
yeah,
bottled August 15th, 2024. So right
I
after the Mammoth Margarita Festival, they bought.
yeah, this is fresh. It's fresh off the truck, ladies and gentlemen. It's fresh off the truck. I'm so glad for her and the company. Like I say, check out the interview. You'll know more about her. If you know more about her, you'll know about where she's coming from with this brand. I'm excited for her. I'm excited for the brand. It's Humano Reposado, Brand of Promise nominee. If you've had it, what are you paying for it? What are you doing with it? What kind of cocktails are you doing with it? I say don't mix it in a cocktail right away. Play with it. Let it linger on your palate. It's really different. There's a lot of character there, but if you just do shots with it or you put the margarita, you're gonna miss it all out. You're gonna
Is that kosher?
Yes, it's a kosher seal, and which is good. If you're wondering, um, kosher is important for a lot of people, and not just the Jewish community. I wrote the book on that. If you're interested, you can go to Amazon and get the big business of kosher tequila. It is a big business. There's a lot of pluses, a lot of pros to having a kosher tequila, and it's not just the tequila, but the distillery itself is considered kosher.
Right.
So yeah, I this is awesome. I can't wait to go. Um, oh yeah, and the name of the company that imports it, this is her company,
I saw that.
Profitable Brands in San Antonio.
Profitable brands. Yep.
That's so cool. You know what? Good. Because she really 1921 is a brand that has endured. It's endured hardship. fits and starts. A lot of it has to do with management, the brand owner. This particular brand, she has a stake in. She's a brand owner. I'm so happy for her, and that's it. We're done. We're gonna get to the añejo. I can't wait to get to it. I love the color scheme on these tequilas. If you're buying it, what are you paying for it? What are you doing with it?
Yep.
You know,
Let us know.
let us know. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Give us a like. Share it with other people. If you any 1921 people that love 1921, this is the backup right here. Okay, and actually, this is probably maybe a little bit of a trade up. Maybe
Yeah, it'll stand up on its own.
it'll stand up on its own. Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you, Dave. Because I'm gonna put myself in a hole here shortly. But
Yep.
that's our take. I'm Mike Morales here, Southern California, in the early evening. That gentleman out there is.
Dave Dinius, Reno, Nevada.
You've been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media.